everyone, welcome back to the tower. So today's video is one that's been requested quite a lot over the past few months, and that is about check-in day. Check-in day is so important. It's obviously the kickoff to your program, and it's a big deal. It's one of the most nerve-wracking, but simultaneously most exciting days that you'll probably ever have. I already made a video about what to do the day before check-in and what I did the day before check-in. Here's the follow-up to that, what check-in day actually looks like, so you can be fully prepared when you arrive in Orlando. I want to take this moment to point out every single person checks in at Vista Way, no matter where your actual housing assignment is. For my program, literally 8 million people were like, oh my gosh, I can't live in Vista, I don't want to live there. And like, I understand that, because I didn't want to live in Vista either, but checking in there does not mean you're living there. Every person checks in Vista Way. That's just how it's done. Just go to Vista and wait for your housing assignment, and fingers crossed it'll be whatever you want it to be. Parking is very tight. There's not a whole lot of parking space, so I highly recommend, like, if you can have someone drop you off, or if you can carpool with friends, do it, because there was not a whole lot of space to park to get out and go wait in line at Vista. About a week before check-in, maybe even less time than that, Disney is going to send you an email saying what time they want you to come to check-in. Keep in mind, that is a recommended time, a suggested time, not a time you have to be there. My time was for like 11 o'clock or some nonsense like that, and like every other one of my friends was first thing in the morning. I went first thing in the morning with all my friends, and it was fine. No one cared. Plenty of other people were doing it. Go whenever you want. Like, it's to help with traffic flow, but it doesn't really matter, because some people go later than they're supposed to and some people go earlier. It all works out. Do what you want. So you wait in line for a really long time. This line wraps like all the way through Vista Way. I don't believe check-in actually started until 8 or 9, and we were probably about 50 people deep in line. But eventually, once the line actually starts moving and people start getting processed, they start giving you little cast member name tag stickers, and they write your name on them in Sharpie so that everyone can know who you are. And at that point, you wait some more. Then they divide you up by last initial. It was like A through L and then M through Z or something like that. And so my friend group got divided, and every one of my roommates except one was in the M through Z group with me. The next few things I may get a little blurry because this was a while ago. I know they all happened. I just may have the order a little off. So if that's the case, I apologize in advance, but these things will all happen in some order similar to what I'm about to say. So you get your program guide, and your program guide has a sticker on the back with your work location. Yay! Obviously the most exciting moment of the day, the moment everyone is waiting for, where you're gonna be spending the next 4 to 8 months of your life. One thing to be aware of, work locations are not very specific. Like, my work location said Future World North. Fascinating. I had no idea what was in Future World North. And even if I did, like, cause I'm pretty well versed in the parks, and that didn't even make sense to me. I was like, what's even there? Cause I didn't even think about where I actually ended up working. They were so small and insignificant, I didn't even consider them a possibility. And even if you're really well versed in like the geographic knowledge of the parks, you could still be wrong. Like, for example, the Seas with Nemo and Friends is technically on the west side of Future World. The merchandise shop is considered Future World West. The attraction is considered Future World East. So they're all very confusing, and it helps narrow it down, but it does not set anything in stone. So just kind of keep that in mind. You may still end up somewhere a little different than you were planning on. When you get your program guide, you'll also get an itinerary that covers what you'll be doing the next few days. This includes the day you'll be going to casting, which is where they take your fingerprints and tell you a bit more about what costume you'll be wearing and things like that. What day you have traditions, which is the day you officially become a cast member. It's your first paid day of work. What day you have your housing meeting, which is required by all participants. Once you get your program guide, you move over to a place where they circle your housing complex and the number of bedrooms you'll be having. So this is a really big moment, because this is when you find out where you're living and most likely who you're living with, or if you're getting your preferences. This is when my group got a huge shock, because yes, we did get Patterson Court, our first choice, but we had a 3-bedroom and we only wanted 2. So that's when we found out we would be having 2 roommates that we had never spoken to before, it threw us for a huge loop, but they were cool. Like, it wasn't a big deal once we got to know them. But Definitely not what we were expecting for that first day. So then they take your picture for your housing ID, which they print for you immediately, and they give you your key, and your apartment number is written on your program guide. Once you get your housing ID printed, they divide you up into even smaller groups. In those groups, you wait in line again, and then you stand around a table with a cast member, and that cast member answers questions that you may have, goes over the Disney look, and they tell you if anything that you are currently wearing does not fit Disney look. Like if your makeup is too, intense or whatever the case may be. So this is kind of a great time for clarification for any questions you may have. And then you're off to explore. That's the end of check-in. There's like booths with like fruit, and I got like a free first aid kit that said Disney internships and programs with like Band-Aids and antibiotic ointment and stuff like that in it. And you kind of just can walk around. Some people will go to casting immediately after check-in. There's a bus waiting for them already at check-in. You grab your stuff, you get on the bus, you go to casting and get fingerprinted. Most cases, that means you're gonna be working pretty quickly. With me, I didn't have casting until my 3rd day, and then I had traditions my 4th or 5th day. Like, I was really delayed. If you don't have casting right away, you can go to your apartment and get settled in. As I've mentioned in previous videos, security is very, very tight at the complexes. However, they are more lenient on check-in days than they are during the rest of your program. So if you have family that's helping you move, all you have to do is stop and tell them that like your family members are helping you. They will take down your ID and all that information still, but they'll give you like a little pass to put on your dashboard that lasts for the entirety of check-in day so that your parents don't have to stop every single time to give that information, which is nice. If you brought your own car, you will also want to get your parking decal for your housing complex this day. So make sure you stop by security with your insurance paperwork and your driver's license and your registration, and they'll give you your decal to put in your window. And that's check-in day. That's what happens, and that's what you guys can expect for the most part when you move to Orlando. Maybe some things have changed here and there since I did my program 2 years ago. 2 years ago, guys. Cannot believe it's been 2 years since I started my program. But yeah, for the most part, that's what to expect when you get to Orlando. So now I just wanted to give you some quick do's and don'ts of what to do for check-in day so that you can get a good start to your college program. Number 1, don't stay up super late the night before check-in. I know I just made a video talking about how you should do all this really fun and exciting stuff the day before you check in, and that's true, but try to wind down a little early because check-in day is long and it's exhausting, so you're gonna want a decent amount of sleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep the night before check-in, and I had like an emotional breakdown during check-in day because I was just so like overwhelmed and so tired. Like I remember I was in my apartment by myself because like I was the only roommate that was there, and I just started crying. Like I was like unpacking my stuff and I've like lost my mind. So get some sleep, be well rested. I promise it's a long day and an exhausting day. Number 2, eat something. Have coffee or a Red Bull or whatever your thing is. It is going to be a long time before you get to eat again. Check-in, like the line at check-in is really long. And if you have casting immediately after check-in, that's an even longer time before you get to eat. So my recommendation, eat breakfast, even if you're not a breakfast person. I'm certainly not. I hardly ever eat breakfast, but I made a point to check-in day, and it was a smart decision. Also, like I said, get caffeinated if that's your thing. Coffee, tea, Red Bull, whatever, because again, really long day. Maybe also bring some snacks in your purse, because like again, you'll be in line for freaking ever. Do try to go with a group of friends or roommates or both. It's a great time to meet people for sure, but I think it helps break the ice when you already have a group of people that you're talking to, and then that group can start intermingling with this group, as opposed to being one person here and then there's a group next to you. Don't have your hopes set too high for any specific work location, for any specific housing complex, for anything. Check-in day is full of surprises. It's so much better to not have expectations, and I can speak to that because I had the highest expectations in the world for my college program. Out of every expectation I had about my college program, most of them did not happen. I wanted to work somewhere really cool like the Emporium, and I worked in stroller rental. I wanted to live in Patterson Court. I got that one. I wanted to live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I got a 3-bedroom apartment. Out of every expectation I had, none of it happened the way I thought it would. You know, it's not a bad thing to be excited, but just kind of prepare yourself that things may not happen the way you expect them to. Do dress comfortably. You do not have to be in professional attire for check-in. You also don't have to be in professional attire for casting, so dress comfortably. Keep in mind also, it can be cold in Florida. I know a lot of people don't really expect that because it's Florida, but when I checked in January, it was like 45 degrees and it was freezing. And for the most of the first week of my program, it was pouring rain. Not my check-in day, but like still. So just be prepared and kind of pack for that possibility. If you're moving in August or September, it's gonna be like 100 degrees. Look at the weather and pack accordingly because you are going to be outside a lot. And you're also gonna be moving stuff into your apartment. And finally, do be super excited. It's the first day of your college program. That is all I have for you guys today on the topic of check-in. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions that I can answer for you. I'd be happy to. Of course, as always, I'm open to any suggestions you have for videos. I still have my list going and I'm happy to add to it. So let me know if there's any videos you guys want to see. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up for me. And as always, for more magical Disney content, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a magical day.